So do you know what the 2 cities are that you need to focus on hitting this summer in Eastern Europe? That's the theme for today's Tip Thursday with me, Connor Klein. Greetings from an absolutely scorching Odessa Mama on the shores of the Black Sea in Ukraine. This is my update video for Belarus and Ukraine in August 2020. Going to be going to exactly where you need to go and what you need to do to travel here with a minimal amount of inconvenience in this summer of coronavirus madness by Italy. So let's start with beautiful Belarus. Now, Belarus is the one country in Eastern Europe that did not shut down for all this coronavirus madness. There was no lockdown, so everything is open in Belarus. And in fact, Belarus is the easiest Eastern European country to travel to right now as well, because they have a list of countries from which if you've been in those countries for the previous time before your arrival in Minsk, in Belarus, you do not have to, number one, self-isolate, nor do you have to take a coronavirus test. Now, they will advise that you take a test and you self-isolate, but there is no actual legal requirement to do so, so that is entirely at your discretion. And countries on that list include the United States of America and the EU countries. So basically, for most of my audience, it means Belarus is 100% open. You won't have any restrictions at all when you get there. And I have a former client is there in Minsk right at the moment. He's been showing me what it's like on the ground. And as you'd expect in a country that had no lockdown, everything is open. The bars and clubs are packed, and it is a place where I'm super pumped to be going to next month, well, in September, with a client who's going to live this our experience in person, and we're going to be living at large in Minsk, Belarus. If you've been following my channel for the last 2 years, you'll see I am a huge fan of Belarus. And my advice is, if your biggest priority is having fun and meeting beautiful women in Eastern Europe this summer, Minsk is the city to prioritize in order to go, because number one, it is full of them. They are super friendly and open, and if you come and live this our experience with me, of course, then it will be turbocharged to the max. One final point about Belarus is that there are presidential elections on August 9th in the country. So some viewers have been asking me, and also some participants in my boot camp, which just finished up, which was Slavic Seduction Secrets, whether it is a good idea to go to Belarus. So if you are planning some political protest against the current government, going to Belarus at the moment is definitely not a good idea, but it's never a good idea. And I'm assuming that is not the case, not the purpose of your visit to Minsk and Belarus, so you will have no problem at all. Don't worry about it, because the Belarusian authorities are not interested in harassing random foreigners to visit the country. So the second city that you should be considering for travel in Eastern Europe this summer, August, early September 2020, is Odessa Mama. Probably no surprises there. Now, Ukraine, it is not as easy to travel to or straightforward for a lot of people as Belarus. Now, what they have is a list with countries that are in the green zone and the red zone, and this changes every few days depending on the level of coronavirus that's been observed in the country that you might be traveling from. So you need to consult that list on the Ukrainian Health Ministry's website. Now, of course, with all this and what you're planning, if you want to discuss having what is the optimal itinerary for you and everything you need to do at arrival, you can reach out to me at connorklein@zarexperience.com, or on Instagram. My handle there is zarexperience, and we can jump on a consultancy call, paid consultancy call, and I can help you with all the planning and everything else about dating in this region. But one thing that you will need if you come to Ukraine right now is special insurance that you will need to get before you arrive. That is easy to arrange. Now, you can also do a coronavirus test, because the self-isolation period is 2 weeks. But if you do the coronavirus test and get a negative result for coronavirus, of course, after you arrive here in Ukraine, then you do not have to self-isolate anymore, and you can get those test results as quick as within 24 hours. Now, there is a bit of confusion about where to do the test. It's supposed to be at all the airports, but just for now, Apparently it is working in Kiev, although that is still unconfirmed. So, but even if you can't get it done at the airport upon arrival, you can get it done very quickly here in any of the major cities that you're going to fly into. And when you come, well, if you come here to Odessa, which is my recommendation. And now that we've explained exactly, or I've explained exactly how you can come here and what might be some of the inconveniences you have, your next question is why Odessa over saying go to Kiev or Lviv or Kharkiv in the west of the country? That is because everything right now is open in Odessa. In most of the other cities is actually closed in terms of bars and clubs at 11 p.m., which obviously limits how much fun and how much of interest is to travel those cities. But Odessa Mom is 100% open. I have been verifying that, believe me, over the last couple of weeks here in Odessa. And the other thing is, of course, we got the Black Sea. It's actually the city in Ukraine by the seaside. So you have that whole summer vibe in terms of beach clubs and partying. And lots of Ukrainians are actually on holidays here. There are very few foreign guys here, which is amazing. It's the first time I've ever seen that since maybe the war started in Donbass back 6 years ago, that there have been so few foreigners. So you will have Odessa pretty much to yourself. And Ukrainians are not traveling, so there's actually a lot more local Ukrainian girls here as well, which is also obviously a big plus factor. So that is my update for August 2020, early September 2020, about where you should go in Eastern Europe to live an unforgettable summer break. Because let's face it, after all this coronavirus-induced mayhem over the last few months, it is kind of sucked. And it is time that you had a massive blowout in Eastern Europe. So number one is magical Minsk in Belarus, and number two for your options is here in Odessa, Mama. And I have one final question for you. What are you doing next weekend? Because it could be you could be here on the shores of the Black Sea with me. Imagine this on a yacht. The sun is beating down because it is super, super hot here. Cool DJ playing the music, playing the vibes, models, hanging out, just having an absolutely unforgettable time here, hitting the beach clubs or doing something similar in Minsk and Belarus with their beach clubs. Obviously don't have the seaside, but they do have actually water and beach clubs there where you can hang out and party. And of course you got that infamous Minsk nightlife to enjoy. But do you want the insider to be there with you? That is me. That's what my former clients call me, the insider. And we could be living the Zara experience together. We'd be having this massive post-corona crap blowout together here in Eastern Europe, but you need to apply for the Zara experience in person first. There's an application form below. So if you're the kind of person that is trying to push themselves, develop, and wants to come here and maximize your chances of meeting dream Eastern European women, just having an unbelievable, unforgettable experience, then you're the type of person that may be eligible for the Zara experience. Once you fill out the application form, I'm going to review it personally, and then if I think it's a good fit for us to work together, it could be you. We'll be jumping on a short strategy call just to sort out the logistics, and it could be you right here with me, either in Odessa, Ukraine, or magical Minsk in Belarus at the end of this summer 2020. See you very soon in the next video. Do побачення. До свидания. Ciao.
Zara Experience.